Hi fellow makeup monsters. So as you guys know, a couple of days ago I had already done a recording in my front yard about my Halloween decorations and a little bit of a how-to on to keep your Halloween decorations fresh and looking good for the next year's coming. As you can see, I already did a recording for a Halloween tutorial today. Hopefully I can get both videos up for you guys today. If not, then one today and one tomorrow. You know, you might actually get two tomorrow. So I actually really wanted to do this video for you guys because I know too many people who spend so much money on getting tombstones and, you know, the styrofoam tombstones and these decorations, and they don't last. They end up breaking, ripping, tearing, just falling apart, paint flicking off, whatever, and they throw them away. And it's such a waste of money. So I really wanted to help you guys and to do a little how-to on to keep your keep your decorations looking nice and fresh. So as you can see, this guy, he's my very first decoration that I ever got. Oh, this lighting sucks, sorry, but I'm gonna do this guy real quick up here. This guy was my, well, no, I got him along with my first one back in 2007. He is made of some kind of rubber material. I don't know, but it's some kind of organic material that's deteriorating as the years go on. Like the older he gets, the less material he has, and the more and more I'm having to repair him, like serious repair. So basically, what he mostly, like about 70% of him is the original material. Another 30% is hot glue, believe it or not. He's mostly hot glue pieced together right now. That's kind of what's keeping him together. It's a little windy today, I'm sorry. But random squirrel. So I had to hot glue him back together, and to cover up the hot glue I just took a can of matte black spray paint, re-spray painted him. I accidentally did get his eyes, and they were red originally, but they were more of a dark red, and my mom had some leftover red craft paint, and she let me use that to repaint his eyes, and it was so bright and so vivid that I just went ahead and redid his mouth. So let me see if I can get a nice little close-up here. So I repainted his eyes and I repainted his mouth, and you can see some spots where he has the hot glue. So he's swaying right now because it's windy, sorry. So now on to this guy. This guy was my very first pick in the store. I remember because I saw the picture of him, of the head on the stick. The picture actually on the box was different. I think he had hair, and I really wanted the one with hair. This was the one that ended up being in the box. I was disappointed, but at the same time I was happy because he originally, I believe, was around, I want to say around 24 bucks. He was on clearance because I guess he was old from the previous year. So he was on clearance for like 7 bucks. And he's actually pretty tall. I'll show you here. See, that's the bucket that he's in, our little aloe vera thing. And he's pretty tall, and he's pretty gruesome looking. He didn't come with that much blood on him. He actually looked pretty dry, considering that he's got a spear through his head and his eyeball pulling out. So what I just ended up doing was getting a bottle of fake blood, and every year I pour some fresh blood on him. So what I'm gonna end up doing with him now this year, probably after Halloween, maybe not, I gotta repaint his eye because, as you can see, it's getting so dingy to where you can't really tell that it's an eyeball much anymore. So I gotta repaint that. I'm thinking of repainting his teeth too, so that they don't look too dark. You can actually see that it's teeth. I'm wanting to darken his nostrils a little bit so he looks more realistic. He's got more depth. And that's pretty much about it with this guy, but I love him. He's my favorite. He's always the first one that goes out every year. So now moving on. Over here I have my arm. And as you can see, the nails are painted. My daughter and I did that because the nails, even though it looks like it's supposed to be a guy's arm, the nails were really long. Really long for a guy. So we just went ahead and painted them so it looks like a female's hand. And it actually looks a little bit more realistic this way. I am gonna get some fake blood and I am gonna re-pour it so that way the nails aren't sticking out too much. But I gotta re-dig him because I did have him kind of looking realistically digging out of the ground here. But my nephew kind of screwed that up a couple of times. Every time he came over, first thing he would do was grab it. So now is this headstone. This is one of my favorite headstones. This one was more of the expensive kind because it does have some kind of plasticky, I want to say fiberglass kind of material around the styrofoam, so it is really hard, and it does last. Just ignore this. This was from my web caster gun from the previous years, and I can't actually use that caster gun anymore because you need an air compressor, and our air compressor has a regulator valve, I believe it's what it's called. Anyway, it broke, so I don't know. Don't know if I'll ever be able to use my webcaster gun again. But as you can see, I have used it quite a lot in the previous years. So there's a lot of webbing everywhere. And this down here you can see is some Gorilla Glue, because this did break quite a few years ago from the stakes that were inside of it. As most of you know, these styrofoam headstones come with stakes that you stick into the headstone and then you stick it into the ground so it'll stay in place. Well, the stake ended up pulling on the bottom of it when there was a bit of wind, and it broke the base of it. So my mom was nice enough to Gorilla Glue it back together. She wanted me to go ahead and redo the stakes. Personally, I didn't find it worth it, so I just leaned it up against something, but my dad was nice enough to screw it in to the base of the tree here. So it's not going anywhere. So now we're going on over quickly to this guy. This is another one of my favorites. I got him a couple years after I got my first decorations. I got him at Walgreens. Some of you may recognize him from years before. I have already had to repair him quite a few times. Not really on the face or anything, but his legs, or leg, the stick hook thing here. This was not secured at all into anything in the body. I had to myself rewrap the hook with the styrofoam and the cloth, and then I had to hot glue it all together on the inside and just glue. Like, I had to pour a lot of glue inside of this part here, and it made some more glue on the inside of that metal hook, so that way it stayed together. Also, as you can see here, I've had to glue his cape together, or wings, whatever you want to call them. You see that? I'm gonna have to redo that again because it pulled apart and broke, and yeah, nobody likes that. Let's just get rid of that. Anyways, this guy has been through the rain. This guy has been through windstorms, and he just sits there and sways. He's a really awesome dude. He's kind of fallen apart a little bit. If, say, this paint should come off the styrofoam, I'm sure there's some kind of paint I can coat over him, some kind of latex or something to cover up the styrofoam that he is made out of. He's made of some kind of gushy foam, and I could probably just redo it and just paint on over it. So this guy's gonna stick around for a long time, I know. But yeah, his eyes actually still work, even though he's been through quite a few rainstorms. His eyes still work. The batteries have not corroded, surprisingly. As you can see, my shadow even, hi! My headstones have fallen over. I had to actually make some new stakes from chicken wire. Really easy to do. I do have to fix these guys because, yeah, that's just pitiful. But as you can see on this guy here, you can see the paint's flaking off. It's looking like styrofoam. You can leave it like this because it does also kind of give it a little bit of a stone look, but personally I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that can of spray paint that I've used for my bat guy, and I'm just going to repaint over it. You don't need the silver accents like it has with the wings and the gargoyle. You don't really need those silver accents because real headstones are all one color. But If you want, you can get some silver paint from a craft store and then just get a cheap brush and just paint those back on. Real simple, real easy. So this guy, this is, get my big butt out of the way. That's a really small headstone that I got for dirt cheap. I think it was only like $3. It was really small, really tiny. I actually used him as a baby gravestone the other years, but I don't have any more baby dolls I can dismantle anymore. My daughter took them all. So now I have this guy. I made the noose by hand. I actually didn't find out till afterwards that a hangman's noose has 13 loops. So keep that in mind when you make it. And he's just looped onto the tree over here, secured right there. So he's just hanging. He's having a good old time. I'm probably gonna fix his position in the next day or so. Maybe day of Halloween. Anyway, hopefully I'm gonna get some webbing today, if not tomorrow. I hope not tomorrow, because I don't want just one day of Halloween and then having to come back outside and clean up all the webbings all over again. So I'm hoping I can get that today. I'll take some pictures if I do. So yeah, that's all my decorations. If you guys want any more tips or hints or anything onto keeping your decorations nice and fresh, go ahead, leave it in the comments. I would more than willing like to answer your questions and give you guys some more tips on to keep your decorations nice and fresh so you can keep them for several years and you're not throwing them away at the end of the year. So I hope you guys have a great day. Stalk me appropriately on Facebook.com/YinYangSarah. Also Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, same way, Yin Yang Sarah. Hit that subscribe button because I have makeup videos coming up for you guys. As you can see, I have this done already today. I have more to do tomorrow and day of Halloween even. So I hope you guys have a great day. Hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you guys like this. I love you guys so much. Always remember, yin yang is a balance and the balance lies within yourself. Have a great day. Bye.